Marvel superheroes. Personally, I am a big fan of Marvel heroes and I always try to test video games based on Marvel comics, and yeah, there are tons of games. And that's why I'm here to show you the best top 10 Marvel superhero games for mobile devices so far. So stick with me and obviously subscribe with notifications on. And this video is sponsored by HitPaw. I will talk about it later on. Alright then, let's begin. So starting off with number 10, Marvel Super War. It's a multiplayer action game that challenges you to participate in 5 vs 5 battles with characters from the Marvel universe. So it's a super fun MOBA that's similar to Arena of Valor or Mobile Legends, except that this time you get to control Hulk, Thor, Black Widow and other comic characters. So it's pretty easy if you are already familiar with the genre, since this is a MOBA. So your objective here is to destroy the enemy's base, and to do so you will have to destroy a few towers that are there to protect it. Marvel Super War is a spectacular MOBA that includes incredibly high production values, so you get to play one of the trendiest genres alongside one of the most popular franchise. Plus the game includes different game modes like combat, turn-based, PvE, rank, etc. So this video is sponsored by HitPaw. It's a very easy to use and user-friendly screen recorder software. Let me show how it works. First, launch the app, and here are some basic settings for recording, such as frame rate and resolution, and you can choose the right settings in advance. Then click record game, and here in the drop selection menu you will find the game application name that you are playing. So select it, then you can see the game window shows up in the preview window. Then click the record button and start recording. Also, if you want to have yourself in the webcam, then you can open the picture in picture, then your video will appear along with the game video, that you can also customize the size or position of both screens. And to stop recording, just click the red button again, and here you can make a quick edit with basic stuff. Super easy, right? So if you are looking for an easy to use game recorder, then I highly recommend you HitPaw, and now it's on huge discount, so hurry up. Download links in video description. Moving on to number 9, Lego Marvel Superheroes. It's a game that tells an original story about the superheroes who live in the universe of Marvel. So you have to play for Iron Man, Spider-Man, Hulk and many other Marvel characters, and characters will try to disrupt the treacherous plans of Loki and other villains. So your task is to stop them and don't let these gather a super weapon that can destroy the whole world. The game features over 91 characters, battles with enemies where superpowers such as flying, super strength and invisibility will have to be used. Plus quick combat techniques and super motions are available, for example Hulk's Thunderbolt and Iron Man's Arc Reactor. Overall, it's a great game that you should try. And on number 8, X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's a hack and slash action adventure game featuring the Marvel Comics character Wolverine and loosely based on the film of the same name. And the game takes influences from games such as God of War and Devil May Cry with a third-person perspective. Also, it features a large amount of blood and gore, and enemies can be slain in several ways in addition to graphic display of Wolverine's healing factor. And the combat relies on 3 options like light attack, heavy attacks and grabs, plus another form of attack is the lunge, which allows Wolverine to quickly close the distance to an enemy. And the story is combination of the Wolverine backstory explored in the film and an original plot created by Raven Software, which was influenced by major event in the X-Men comic series. So if you want to try this game, then this will require PPSSPP emulator to play. Moving on to number 7, Marvel Spider-Man Unlimited. It's an endless runner featuring Spider-Man with an official license from Marvel. In it, you control the popular superhero through his story in which he will face the Sinister Six. Despite being an endless runner like Temple Run or Subway Surfers, Spider-Man Unlimited has a complex story divided into chapters through which you will advance, confronting some of the most charismatic villains ever seen in comics along the way. Overall, this isn't just an excellent endless runner, it's also an outstanding Spider-Man game, another success for Android devices from Gameloft. And yeah, it got removed from Play Store, but if you ever downloaded it before, then you can easily download the game from Play Store, link in description. Coming up at number 6, Marvel Strike Force. It's a turn-based RPG where players take on the life of any of their favorite major Marvel superheroes. And it's not your average run-of-the-mill turn-based JRPG. That said, as per usual, each of your superheroes unleash their own brand of special attack combos. And after your turn is up, your opponent is on offense. And whenever you get bored with watching live combat, you can always speed up by toggling your action setting to make them faster or reconfiguring combat to auto mode. So it's an outstanding game in every sense of the word. Its direct, addicting gameplay is only trumped by its eye-catching graphics, nicely synced with tactful and well-plotted character design. And before moving on, just tap on the like button without any hesitations. Alright, on number 5, Thor: The Dark World. This one is based on the movie Thor: The Dark World. In this game, you will fight in the most emblematic places in the land of Asgard on almost 100 different missions, where you will encounter super villains from the film, and to survive you will need to keep improving your armor and hammer and learn how to release your special powers in each battle, since none of them can be owned in quite the same way. So on number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's an episodic graphic adventure video game series developed and published by Telltale Games based on Marvel Comics' Guardians of the Galaxy comic book series. In this game, the player's character talks to other characters, explores environments, and interacts with objects within it, and at times completes action sequences made up of quick time events. Player make choices such as dialogue selection that create determinant within the story, affecting later actions within the episode and in future episodes. You know what I mean if you ever played Wolf Among Us or the Walking Dead series from the Telltale. Overall, it's an outstanding game with very high quality graphics and interesting storyline. Alright, on the third number of the list, Marvel Future Fight. It's a 3D action game where you play some of the most powerful characters from the Marvel universe. In it, you will be introduced to Nick Fury, who is come from the future to call all the superheroes and villains of the world together to save the multiverse from total collapse. In this game, you can control more than 20 different characters, and the fighting system in Marvel Future Fight works perfectly. With the virtual joystick to the left, you control your character, and with the buttons to the right, do special attacks. So it's an outstanding action game with absolutely spectacular visuals and production values worthy of a console game. And on number 2, The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. The game's plot is based on the events of the film. The protagonist of the game, an ordinary extraordinary guy named Peter Parker. In the past, few people knew his person, but now everything has changed. Peter fights crime in the city. Now back to the game itself. Before you open a huge open world in which you can do whatever you want, fly on the web through the night city, go through missions and various tasks. All the doors to the world of fantasy are open to you. Also, you can develop the skills of your character, improve the maximum of its capabilities, master a variety of combat techniques to more than one villain did not even doubt your abilities. So both of the parts are really awesome and it's a masterpiece itself, but unfortunately got removed from stores, so you will need the help of third-party website to get the game. Finally, at the top of the list, Marvel Future Revolution. This is an MMORPG that combines traditional elements from both action games and open world games. So the result is an action-packed title where you will be able to move through huge settings with total freedom alongside other players. And the controls in this game are similar to other action-centered games, especially most Android MOBAs. And the best part is it has a story mode that was written especially for the game. This means you get to watch tons of narrative scenes that tell you about what's happening throughout the Marvel universe. Your actions and your victories are what make the story advance. Of course, the more you advance, the more levels you will need to have. Overall, it's an excellent MMORPG. Not only does it have spectacular graphics, but also a charismatic cast of recognizable characters, an original story mode, and a cinematic and fun combat system. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then give me a thumbs up. Also subscribe for regular gaming content and also turn on the notifications. We'll catch up in the next one. Till then, stay tuned and happy gaming.